dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight. Black ink after a burst or baptized. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all that you do, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made.
Hello everyone, I'm Larry Ridley and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The race for the playoffs is front and center this week, and here's a look at the AFC contenders. And it's not just who is in or out, but how the seeding shakes out. What a great time of year. It's the Texans going up against the Jaguars. With that, let's head up the road to Jacksonville, Florida. Standing by our Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Field here in Jacksonville. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Shift together here from the D-line. One man on the backfield, that's Martin. They're going to give it to him running right. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Really tough drive, but that run help salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense. Now that's the Doug Martin we saw, not just in his rookie year when he burst on the scene out of Boise State, but how about in 2015 when he earned a big-time contract extension from Tampa Bay?
Yeah, you mentioned it, from Boise State, 31st pick back in 2012. First down, here's the run with Martin. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, Martin. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
3rd and short yardage, Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Pernell McPhee, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive. 4th down, they're going. Bridgewater. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. In there to sack him for a loss of 6. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Second down, Prescott. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down.
Here we go. Man 38. Black round.
On third down, it's Prescott. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And time to take a look at the Jaguar defense.
Aqib Talib is one of the great gambling corners in the league. When he gets an idea and a notion and jumps a route, it often results in 6 points for his team.
A second down throw for Prescott. This will be caught at the 2. They practiced this all week. Pretty clear it paid off there. Threw it downfield, made it look relatively easy.
And it always comes a little bit easier when you've practiced it and tuned things up and you're confident in what you're doing now. They felt very, very good about their plan, and we saw the execution because the confidence of the players was there.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give a lot of credit to the defensive front there. They held their ground, pretty much stoned them on that play, and ended up creating a lost yardage play.
Yeah, drop them from the 1 back to the 2. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. So backed up to the 6 now, 3rd and goal. Prescott on 3rd and goal. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So our initial drive here this afternoon results in 3. I'm not sure that was a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking the early lead.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. He completes it right side to White. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
Tiger! Force! Turn it up! Get ready! Wait,
Bridgewater from the gun on third down. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Again, it's Martin. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Bridgewater with a keeper. Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Jones now in motion left. Bridgewater to throw it this time. He's got time in the pocket. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Second down following the incompletion. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go. Way 90.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play, but you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Bridgewater now. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony with a pick. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Following the interception, here's Prescott. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Now a handoff to Miller. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. A first down carry now for Miller. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And that's a guy, Lamar Miller, from Miami, went to the University of Miami, was playing for the Dolphins, but now moved to the Lone Star State.
Yeah, how about that? And sometimes that change of scenery, it may look like it's going to affect him adversely. He's away from his home for the first time ever. But sometimes you get out on your own somewhere else, that can increase your performance. You only focus on your football.
Defense showing blitz. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
I know they didn't get it, but I kind of like the call. 2nd and inches going.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Dak Prescott, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And now Bridgewater is still down. Looks like he was shaken up there. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now loose football. Fumble. Martin lost it. Offense with a fumble, but they recover it. And it brings up 2nd down.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Off of play action. Here's Smith. He'll buy some time right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony, with a pick.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
So the D-line's going to spread out. First down, Prescott. Underneath for Miller. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. It'll go as a gain of 12. And the Texans are going to have a first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Let's go.
Prescott on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And now it's 2nd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? the guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Here's Prescott. This one caught by Crowder. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense. 3rd and long for Prescott. And able to find Dorsett. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Vontae Davis. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. Muscles him off. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. The final shot here before break. Smith going up top. And this one is incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you a couple hours south to Orlando, let's check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he fires one, but incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. 2nd down and just 1. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They run. Martin. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. One man on the backfield, that's Martin. He'll get the football here. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. And credit the tackle to Cliff Avril.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
On second down, here's Miller. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. And they have the football, and they'll set up shop at the 33-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Smith now to throw, and this one complete to Virgil Green. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They're going to go for it. It's Smith, escaping the pressure right. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. And here comes the Texans now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Again, it's Miller. And some room to roam now. And down inside the 15 he goes. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. The play clock's running down. And they just did not get the snap away in time. They come up in an offset eye. Shift together here from the D-line. First and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Dak Prescott with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Boy, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goal post.
That's right.
Before you drop the ball.
That.
There you go.
They start the drive with Martin. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down. They run again on first down. Martin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards on the pickup. And the Jags are going to have a first down. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Now that run is one to build on, and I know it sounds like a cliche and it seems like a simple thing, but truthfully, coaches are always looking for something to pull out of a tough day. And right now, this team has had one of those. So that run there, I guarantee you that's a clip and save as they move forward and look towards the next game. And he'll tell his team, this is what we're looking for. This is what we planned for. Let's have more of this to start games as opposed to getting it at the end.
Flush to his right. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So a costly penalty marker, and it's now 3rd and 11. Throwing on third down, Smith. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by the veteran Cortland Finnegan. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
He's going to loft one. He's got a man complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Stephon Diggs, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Texans will extend their lead. And the lead is now 24. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that
one. On second down, here's Smith. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse, Martin. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. Now Gino. They set up the screen to Martin. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Gino now to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony, with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. To throw on second down is Smith. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing now is Geno, eluding the pressure right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. And now out comes Houston. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Well, Prescott here to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out come the Jags. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guy.
Oh, wide open, complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them. It's
a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. Throwing here, Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They go play action here on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And that'll bring up second down. And this looks to probably be the final play.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. But guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.